Lion.
Okay, how much aura do these locomotives have? Probably none, but it's a tier list. What else do you want me to say? Okay, so I guess to start off, we got the Nakusa Papers Alco. The livery does look pretty pastel-y, but I like it. I mean, I could definitely have a drink with this guy. Alright, now we got Mr. Grunky over here. It would be a shame if I were to put him on. I feel like I'm being held at gunpoint by Winnipeg and like the entirety of the state of Michigan for this. Minnesota transfer. Middle ground, why not? Bro, I love the stripe pattern on this. Like the stripes at the front of the nose and on the plow. I mean, seriously, this thing is begging to be looked at. So you know what? This thing is looks maxing. Why not? Humid. I'd rather look at that one lobotomized snowplow that railroad have. I don't think much for the Morristown and Erie, but the livery itself is fine, but curious to see what this thing will look like back in the TP&W colors, so, middle, why not? Okay, here we got the alligator. Now, this thing exists for a pretty good iron ore company, so you know what? It's cool. I like the look of crocodile-nosed locomotives. Who the hell is this? I literally don't even know this railroad, but the scheme looks nice, and it's a Baldwin road switcher, because no one ever talks about those, so you know what? God, I'm indecisive! Yay. Okay, whenever I look at this thing, it looks like it wants to beat the shit out of me. Like if I look at it wrong or breathe at it wrong, it'll rip my intestines out, so you know what? I like it. It honestly looks like an imposing piece of shit. Who even are you? Bro looks like it rolled around in a tub full of like nuclear radioactive waste. You know what? This thing just looks ugly. Hopefully that thing does get restored though. Bro, this thing is a doodlebug. How many of those are even preserved in North America? So you know what? Fuck it, we ball. I'm putting this up in amazing. Okay, this rare diesel obviously is top priority. As someone that did witness it during his first few weeks of operation, I love this thing to hell and back. So, yeah, it's going up in this tier, bro. Okay, so this thing was built in the 30s, so it more or less predates the majority of the locomotives here. But, who even remembers it? Commonwealth Edison. Bro, it's an SW1. Everybody loves those. So you know what? Put them in that tier, why not? Bro, the CB&Q's liveries are just great in general, so you know what? It's amazing. I mean, they had a good career, and honestly, both of them are equally as great, so you know what? Fuck it, we ball. They're legit kingpins of the collection. 411 more or less. Who even remembers this chud? Don't even bring up the Milwaukee Road meme. That's pretty much been dead in the water for years, bro. So you know what? It's at least good looking, I'll tell you that. You know what? I'm gonna group the BNOCS locomotives together because they pretty much wear the same scheme and are assigned to the same trains. You know what? It's nice to know that we have these in preservation, and the executive scheme does work on the cab units. You know what? They're great. I mean, does the Zephyr really need to be talked about? It's self-explanatory. It's great, it's goated, it looks nice as hell, and it's just begging to be looked at because of its silver aluminum appearance or whatever. You know what? It goes in looks maxing. Bro, Iowa Pacific is so underrated, and the website classifies this as CNW 515, which probably might be real. But yeah, Iowa Pacific in itself is pretty underrated. Maybe a video talking about that in the future? I don't know. I'll just say middle tier. It's there, I guess. Bro, these two just look like they're dying and gasping for air. Just take them out back and put them out of their misery, bruh. They're pretty much just carcasses on wheels. Good to know that they acknowledge the early BN passenger scheme here, instead of, you know, the one that everyone is used to. So you know what? It's cool. Horn is crisp, but geez, the electrics were so much better. Cool. Bro, I remember back when this thing looked like a living corpse and whatnot, so the IRM did a pretty good job on restoring this and breathing it to life again, so it's good. This, though, it exists. Bro, Bankruptcy Blue just works on everything, so it definitely is a looks maxer. I mean, it is one of the IRM's diesels. So, this raggedy-ass motherfucker is mid. Okay, so this is the most recent addition to the IRM collection. And it looks like that one Waste Management SC40. But SC20s are cool, so why not middle ground? Much like what I said for the CB&Q switcher, this scheme looks really nice. It's a goddamn Santa Fe locomotive. Of course it's gonna be a looks maxer. I've already talked about this locomotive in my Maersk video, but it honestly rocks the scheme pretty well, and I'm hoping they keep it on for a bit longer. But I would not be opposed if they repaint it back into Phase 1, so either way, it's a goated locomotive for its peculiar history. Did anyone remember when someone ripped the horn off this locomotive? Either way, it's a Chicago chud, so I could easily seeing it beating the shit out of, you know, unsuspecting foamers, so it's cool. Okay, now we get to the Kingpin, the legit GOAT, the massively glazed EMD locomotive of all time. The one that everyone's been talking about since last year for certain reasons and whatnot. Even though it wore daylight better than Amtrak. And it's so good that even people, you know, addressed it by bringing their own plushies and whatnot and waving it out of the cab. So you know what, just for how good this locomotive is, it's getting its own tier. It's the GOAT. And next time you're at IRM and this thing is running, bring your Luna plushies. The gong bell is pretty underrated. Then again, bring a fucking Tyco drum set and start beating the shit out of its bell, bruh. The Wisconsin Central is pretty underrated, and their SC45 fleet is pretty good, all things considered, so middle tier. It's an SD50, what do you want me to say? It's obviously going to go in the bottom tier. We live in this day and age where Macs are now getting preserved, bro. Either way, it's good to see this thing is up and running again at the time of recording, and I would not be opposed if they bring it back to the executive scheme. So, you know what? It's another good one. Now, I like the Centennials, but it just exists for me. At least this particular example. Niche locomotive model, all things considered. Sort of like a hybrid between a Trainmaster and a regular Fairbanks Morse locomotive. They're pretty underrated and very niche, so I'm gonna put this in, amazing. I know this thing is restored, but I barely even recognize this. It has nothing on its Chad Brothers 760. This locomotive just begs to be looked at. Its bell is crisp, and it honestly deserves your attention. Looks maxing, bruh. You exist. How long will it be until it jumps the tracks again? It's a good looking thing, all things considered. I don't even recognize you. A very niche short line, and hey, nice to see one of these U-boats still around. But I don't remember it as much. This, though, is basically a flagship diesel, all things considered. So you know what? Slap it in the looks maxing tier. And well, it's a Burlington Northern locomotive. It's a rather goated fallen flag. Like I said at the Mac, we live in this day and age where Dash 8s are getting preserved, and it really shows how old we're getting, so, yeah, I'm putting it in cool. Why not? The fact that they even got a hold of a gas turbine already speaks volumes, bruh. Every time I went to the museum, I always saw the turbine as the center of attention here. It's an imposing machine, bro. Older box cab diesel appreciation. And hey, the scheme itself looks nice. I think it's one of the bicentennial liveries, I think. Alright, Lima Hamilton, the one diesel locomotive builder nobody gives a shit for. This thing looks like a knockoff of that one Canadian National Diesel switcher. Then again, it's interesting looking, but... Bro, this thing is not pulling anyone, bro. Okay, so that's all the main diesels and whatnot. Now it's more or less just whatever these are. So it's pretty simple how I'm gonna rank them. Mid, Chuddy. This guy looks like Rusty if he was a standard gauge Chud. This thing is precious. Put this up higher. Oh, and they have an RDC. I don't even remember this. Admittedly, this idea was pulled straight from the bottom of the cookie jar. Oh, at least I covered every diesel. Okay, since when did you two exist? Howdy y'all, Cowl here. Thank you for enjoying this rather, satire tier list video. This was clearly done for fun. And at the end of the day, they're all diesel locomotives, they're all equally cool, regardless of, you know, how they look. But, yeah, for those attending the Diesel Days event, have fun. And, yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care, folks.